Welcome to the Without Judgment Coaching Podcast. I'm Virginie, your host and guide on this journey. This is a space created specifically for neurodivergent, high-achieving women who are ready to unlock their full potential and reignite their passion for work while creating a life that truly aligns with their dreams. As a life and career coach, I believe that your career should be more than just a paycheck. In my practice, I work with brilliant women who, despite their impressive achievements, are wrestling with chronic stress and teetering on the edge of burnout. On the surface, they seem to have it all together, but inside, there is that persistent voice whispering, "It's not enough." Does this resonate with you? I'm here to share my favorite tools and strategies gathered over the years to help you recognize that you're not alone, and more importantly, that you have the power to take charge of what's happening in your mind. Here is what I know to be true. When you'll tell yourself a different story, you change how you feel and show up in the world. The beautiful thing about this, it all starts with our thoughts. And that's incredibly good news because you get to choose what you think on purpose. You have the power to decide which beliefs serve you and which ones you're ready to let go of. In each episode, I'll guide you through practical ways to become your own biggest ally, helping you define and achieve success on your own terms. I'm a coach on a mission to help you discover and create the life you truly deserve. So take my hand and let's go. Hey there, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Without Judgment Coaching Podcast. Today, I want to start by sharing something that happened during my weekly lunch break walk with my husband. Well, I say weekly, but we don't do it necessarily every week because not everything happens as planned, as you know. Anyway, during this walk, I passed by this house in my neighborhood that really made me pause and think. You know, there are multiple ways of seeing anything and everything, and this house became kind of the perfect metaphor for today and what I've been noticing lately. So here we are, starting another year, and I keep having conversation with my friends about all the challenges we're all facing. There are the fires in LA and plenty of other circumstances here in the US and all around the world that are challenging, to say the least, to maintain hope. But here is what strikes me. We get to choose our perspective. And yes, life is always going to be 50-50. That's just how human life is. Good and hard, hopeful and challenging, totally normal. But what matters is how we choose to see the possibilities that are out there for ourselves, even in the midst of the difficulty and challenges. This is especially relevant for all of us that are neurodivergent, and all of you listeners who are neurodivergent and high achieving especially, who might be wrestling with this external challenge and internal challenge, this internal dialogue that we can have with ourselves. And I just want to say it's 100% okay to feel sad and mad. All the feelings that we're having are gonna be the feelings that we're having because this is who we are as humans. We are meant to experience all of them. And the more we resist them, the longer they're gonna linger around. So, does it feel good to feel sad or mad? Not really. But the real question is, how long do you want to sit in those feelings? And what do you want to do next? And the best way I know to handle that is to be with those feelings just for how long it takes. And most of the time, a feeling lasts 90 seconds, a couple of minutes, and then you have some kind of relief. So there is, of course, no universal answer. There is no right or wrong answer. But when we resist the tears that are coming down at work, or we hold back from advocating for a colleague or a loved one, then sometimes we really struggle longer with those emotions. So we need to decide Do I stand by that decision? Where do I want to go from there? How can we be on our own side, really? And that's really what coaching is helping me navigate every day. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share today. And now really get into some beginning of the year and goal setting ideas that I wanted to share. Because I think it helps to have an overview of what you want the next weeks, the next months to bring you. It helps us focus and really work on something specific if we try to have a plan, even if the plan needs to change along the way. So recently I was talking to a client of mine, and let's just call her Sarah, and she came and told me that she was feeling overwhelmed about all the things that she wanted to achieve this year. She's a department head in a tech company, and she felt pulled in a million directions. Does that sound familiar? That's exactly why I want to share those practical tools with you, because I want to help all of my clients silence that pesky inner critic and move forward with more confidence. The challenge that we're often facing is some thoughts along the lines of, I have so many ideas, but I can't seem to focus on just one. Or I feel like I should be doing more, but I'm already exhausted. Or everyone else seems to have it all figured out. Any of those resonate with you? Just let me tell you, you're not alone. And there is nothing wrong with your brain. Now, one of the tools that I use to address these goal settings and the overwhelm that might come when we're trying to start a long list of all the wishes we have for the year or for our life in general, it's the Wheel of Life. And that's one of my favorite tools to share during my consultation call, because it's kind of a compass of the journey. But here is the twist. We're going to do this in a neurodivergent friendly way. No rigid categories, no overwhelming options. So let me walk you through how we can customize this for you. Maybe you're thinking about your career growth, like landing that promotion you've been eyeing. Perhaps it's about creating better boundaries between work and family time. Or it can be about making space for things that fuel your soul, like learning a new skill, or prioritizing exercise this year. Whatever it is, with the Wheel of Life, I want to focus on this for right now. Because there is something I know, it's that when we try to change everything at once, we have a very high chance of changing nothing, because nothing will stick if we want to focus on everything at the same time. And that's what I want to tell you about, is the power of single focus, or doing one thing at a time, is to really have one goal and focus on that. And see, like, what is success in this area for me? What activities, what mini goals are involved in it? And really getting into as many details as we can to describe that. And I noticed that when I talk about that single focus, that's really a big aha moment for a lot of my clients, and for myself when I started coaching as well. Because all of a sudden we don't have to tackle everything at once. And our neurospicy brains often work much better when we can dive deep into one priority at a time. So I know it's frustrating, and I know our brains also offer that we know how much we're capable of, and yet we can't seem to be able to implement all the changes we want to see. But listen to that. You can start with one thing. That's how I started. It's like starting small is not admitting defeat. It's really the opposite, actually. It's just getting started that's going to give you the chance to repeat it often enough and practice it. Then it can become a habit, and then you can move on to the next thing. Instead of forcing your brain to jump around all day long in between all the things. So here are my couple of practical tips for goal setting. 1, I want to invite you to choose your season. Instead of setting something for the whole year, think about what matters really for now. And then you can set a longer term goal to see what it look like at the end of the year, but really listen to what is calling to you right now. Number 2, make it tangible. For example, instead of saying, I want to be more present with my family, or I want to be 100% at work when I'm at work and not think about all the home projects, whether it's laundry, groceries, or the kids' activities, get very specific. For example, you can say, I schedule 2 25-minute of focused work blocks each morning before checking my emails. And if you do that, you might get there by thinking about what are your obstacles to achieving your main goal. And if it's working on a specific project, it can be that if you start by opening your emails, in this case, you find yourself just going down the rabbit hole of whomever is writing and making it urgent when it might not be the right priority. So just try and see, like maybe go through your day in your head to find those examples and then make it tangible, like to really set a goal that works for you. And number 3 is, I want to tell you to really think about your natural rhythm. Work with your energy levels. Like, are you more focused in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening? When are you most creative? And really try to plan around those peaks. Like, I typically recommend to observe what's going on for a week or 2. You don't need to keep a full inventory, even though that's really helpful. Just like try to notice, I want to work on learning new skills. When would I have the time for that? What might be getting in my way? When would I have the energy for that, or the quiet place to do this? Just think in as much details as you can to really establish a goal that's going to make sense for you. And just quickly before we wrap up, I want to share another quick story. One of my clients who realized that her goal wasn't actually about getting promoted, but it was about feeling confident in her role first. And once she saw that, everything kind of shifted because she stopped comparing herself to others and she was able to celebrate what her unique strengths were. So think about it this way. Start by observing what's happening and be as specific as you can with yourself, with describing what is my goal, what might be in my way, and then ask your brain to come up with some creative solutions for that. In my coaching program, I offer a 6-step journey where we take all of these insights and transform them into lasting change, going through those key 6 steps. We build your confidence, not through forced positivity, but really through practical action and that self-discovery, so that your imposter syndrome, you don't need to fight it. You just understand it better and work with it and gradually watch it lose its power. Just remember, goal setting is not about forcing yourself into someone else's mold. It's really about creating a path that honors your neurodivergent brain while moving you toward what matters to you. Before I wrap this episode, I really wanted to share with you that this new program, we spent 6 weeks together and I tailor it to the person I work with because I only work one-on-one. At the end of it, you'll have your personalized leadership toolkit and have the strategies to manage any kind of overwhelm, prevent the burnout that you might feel close to, and create those boundaries in between your work and your personal life because they will align with your values. This work really moves me because I've seen firsthand how neurodivergent leaders like you navigate unique challenges while carrying such an incredible potential. So maybe you're yearning for a career that truly lights you up, or maybe you're longing to rediscover yourself through a new passion, or maybe you want to build deeper connections that understand and celebrate who you are. whatever your dream, I'm here to help you rewrite those limiting stories and make them into powerful narratives that champion your success. If you're ready to explore what this could look like for you, I want to invite you to book a consultation call. Together, we'll customize that wheel of life for your unique situation and start building a path forward that feels authentic to you. To do that, just go to without-judgment-coaching.com. That's without-judgment-coaching.com. Or you can find the link on my Instagram bio or on my LinkedIn profile. During our call, we'll explore how to reframe your inner narrative and make you your own best advocate. We'll discuss if my 6-week program could fit what you're looking for in your journey. I really can't wait to connect with you and explore how we can work together to achieve that one specific goal you want to achieve first this year. If today's episode resonated with you, I invite you to take 2 quick actions. First, leave me a review to help other neurodivergent leaders find this podcast. And number 2, share this episode with someone who might need to hear that message today. I hope you have a terrific weekend. And I want to invite you to share a topic you want me to cover on the podcast just by emailing me. This show is for you, so let's talk about all the things you want most to hear about. My email is withoutjudgmentcoaching@gmail.com. Until next time, remember, you're not broken, you're brilliantly different. So keep on shining, growing, and thank you for being a part of this community. Bye!